Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the next section in this Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 video walkthrough on Unleashed difficulty. And once again, we're still in the Rebel ship, so this level does take a while, and when you get into this big room, this is probably the most challenging room of this level. And the reason for that is because there is no checkpoint in all of this room, and there's a ton of enemies, and there's a lot of snipers. There's a lot of the ATSTs and a couple of the gold soldiers with the double lightsabers. And it's almost like double lightsabers is the only real innovation in this game, which is such a fucking shame. But the first thing the first time I played this room, I found a cheesy spot to deal with most of the stuff, and you can jump up onto the balcony on the right and the lefts of the room, and if you jump up there, there's pretty much nothing in this room that can hurt you that much, and everything that can, you can fire back at it. But straight away, the strategy of throwing and then impaling works on the gold guys as well, so never fight them with your sword, there's no need. Just throw them and then impale them. And it makes this game ridiculously easy because every single challenging enemy can be cheesed like that. But when this guy turns up, as I've said, you can jump up onto the balconies. There is a way up to the left and the right of this room if you're having trouble, and then you can just use your force powers and cheese this room. And it's dead simple, but I'm going to stay down on the bottom for a bit and fight them because this is a full upgraded run, unfortunately, and I don't fear these enemies whatsoever. So make sure there's something between you and the ATST so that they can't spam you with the laser, and just keep firing the rockets back at them. You see, that one's a big one, and he uses his front cannon a lot, and that will really hurt you if you let it hit you. But if you stay a decent enough damage, they don't shoot that cannon. And also, you can use you can use them against each other if you use their missiles to fire at the mates. So right now I'm using the missile off the little one to kill the big one. And right there I get the A prompt, and as soon as the A prompt goes green, I could have done the execution move, but it died before I could, so I can focus on this dude now. And a missile and a saber throw challenges him. Another saber throw destroys his missile. What the fuck is going on? Oh, and I got hit by its missile, but the A is up and I can finish it off. And what happens is, once you've destroyed these guys, another one of the shuttles is going to land, and it's going to be another bunch of ATSTs. There's also going to be another bunch of enemies and a couple of snipers up here, so if you jump up really quickly, you should be able to get the snipers as they spawn. And it's a dead good strategy of cleaning them up before all these enemies come. So as you can see, 3 of the mech walkers and a ton of stormtroopers. But if you're up here, you'll get these on the spawn, and none of the snipers will be able to hurt you. So once you've done that, you can either stay up here and cheese the walkers, which I think I might do a little bit. Let's have a look. Always keep your block on though, because they'll shoot you. And there we go. Well, that's one missile already. Any more? Oh, can I throw my lightsabers at him? I can't, they don't quite reach. But watch, he's going to fire his missile back, and you can literally stay up here and cheese all of them quite easily. More missiles, and look, he's dead. Just like that. And there I go, I finish off the big one. He's down, and then it's just a case of killing his little buddies, and killed them both. You see, this is not a challenging game if you approach these scenarios correctly. If I'd have been down on the floor when they all spawned, then I might have been in trouble because they strip your life really quickly with the guns. But because I was on a balcony, they couldn't hit me, I could hit them, it made it an extremely easy room. But it's just all about discovering the best ways to approach every conflict, and you shouldn't have too much trouble, really. And I've got a full Force Unleashed mode thing stored, so if I even remotely came close to losing that fight, I could have used that and just gang raped everybody. But once that's done, you'll see the force field's gone off those hooks that's pinning those dropships in, and you just have to go up here and dismember them. And once that's done, this room is effectively finished. But this is just an example of a level that should have ended 20 minutes ago. I mean, they could have literally put a different light filter so that everything looked green, and it might have done it a kind of justice, because it just, everything looks the same. It really does, and it's such a shame. All those environmental artists, all those designers, and they've got this fucking cookie cutter garbage looking spaceship. It's just tragic. But I'm not going to keep banging on the game, even though I keep banging on the game. I can't help it. I was so looking forward to this game, and then when I played it, it disappointed me. And the first thing you should do with these guys is throw them into the machinery, because it will kill them. There you go. Nothing better than an environmental hazard to help you win a fight. Throw them into the energy, that'll kill them as well. Yeah, this is not really balanced for the enemy, this game. And you have to force grab that, put it into there to short out these electrical things now. They're not going to stop firing, but it's nothing new, it's nothing difficult. Just do your thing. And that shit's simple. But I've just got a relatively small game that's been released. It's called Death Smiles, and it's made by a company called Cave, who are a Japanese company. They're almost indie, you could call them, because they're a very small design team, and they're focused on doing the old school shooters where you control the little ship or the little character, and bullets and bullets and bullets fire down the screen as enemies come on, and you have to kill them and dodge through the bullets. And it's basically the Space Invaders of the modern day. They do fantastic shooters, and it's kind of a niche genre, but I love it. And I've just got that because they finally released it in England. In Europe it's a PAL release, and it's 17 quid, dead cheap, and I'm tempted to do a review for it, and I think I'm gonna do some gameplay for it, drop a review over, and see how that gets received on my channel, because it's a really good game. The only problem with it, obviously, is it's very difficult, and you've pretty much got to play it for a solid year to get any kind of reliable on it, any kind of, consistent runs. And I'm pretty good at these kind of shooters, but I'm not good enough to get anything worth pushing on YouTube, so I don't know if a walkthrough would be the best thing. I do have a replay saved where I get all the way up to the last boss without continuing, but unfortunately the last boss gets me because I make a couple of mistakes, and it's just a really difficult game, so I might post that and drop a commentary on it. My main reason for doing it is because I want a diverse channel, and B, I would like to promote Death Smiles, because it's a really good game, and Cave as a whole, because they're a developer that not a lot of people know about, and it's a gaming genre that has almost been left behind by the gaming industry, because nobody really does it anymore aside from a select few developers, and everybody looks at it as kind of a novelty, and it really isn't. There's some fantastic games if people would just give them a try, so I'm probably going to be uploading some of that in between my Bulletstorm guide. So if you know what that means, if you know what Death Smiles is, or what a bullet hell shooter is, you'll probably be overjoyed. If you don't, you'll probably be thinking, what the fuck is he on about? But you will be seeing that on my channel, and if that's not your thing, don't watch it. It's that simple. I'm trying to put up as much as I can. That's the reason why I put that Guitar Hero video up, and it didn't get that many views, so I'm probably not going to do any more, because that's not what people are coming to my channel for. And when you drop into this room can be tricky because there's a ton of enemies, there's an environmental hazard, and there's snipers and stuff, so it's just kind of cheesy. But if you stay up here and kill the ATST, you should be pretty safe, and then you can drop down and finish off the stormtroopers. But I think another one spawns, and if it doesn't, there's another fight in this room that's got something else. But kill as much as you can from this height advantage, because you're really safe up here. It's only the wanton blaster shots that can take you on. And have you noticed the gold guys? They're not difficult, it's just when you're being shot it makes it difficult to fight. So I'm going to take this section a little slow. And look at them throwing grenades at me, the cheeky bastards. And there's a couple of guys across from me down there. I can't use the force to throw things at them because the balcony won't let me, but if you stand in here, the gold guys will rush you, and watch me attack them through the wall. All that is square and Y, and the Y hit goes through the wall and it stuns them both. And you can do that and keep doing it and stay in cover and basically cheese all these enemies, and it's a really good strategy, because if I were to run out and grab them, I could risk getting A, shot, and B, hit by one of the other ones, because there's a lot of them. There's like 5 of the gold guys. And they might not be challenging on their own, but when there's a ton of them on you, the game just isn't precise enough for you to fight large groups unless you're using your electricity well. So do the square Y, square Y, look at that. Bit of cross console fucking button commands for you. And if you isolate any of them, I implore you to throw them, because that will get them killed a lot quicker than the combos do, because the enemies take a massive beating on this difficulty. So throw them, execute them, nice and easy, and just watch them, because they can throw the lightsabers at you, they can do combos, they're assholes. Another technique is to throw these guys into those jets of fire. That will instantly kill them as well, as you'll see. That guy just got took out. And just use this wall for cover. He's throwing his lightsabers, that's what that means. If you can block that perfectly, it'll reflect it back at them and kill them instantly. And it's really funny when you do it. Another technique, which I just did then, is the Jedi mind trick. You can mind trick these enemies to attack their friends, and it's a pretty valid argument for a strategy, but I don't really use the mind trick because it just never occurs to me, because it wasn't on the first Force Unleashed, and I play this game like I played the first one. I'm a lot more combat orientated than, you know, Force powers when it comes to the special ones. Like, I don't use Force Repulse. I never use it on the first game. The only stuff I really use is the grip, because I love throwing people and I love throwing items. Ooh, that guy got owned. But on this moment you can literally just back up and just defend, because the fire will kill these enemies, because they're all retards. He's doing his saber throw again. Oh! Perfectly parried it. Sent it back at him. Insta-kill. And just throw them and execute them and just keep doing what you've been doing for the majority of the game. Because that throw move is so overpowered. It knocks everything on their ass and then you can run up and execute them. It's just silly. But once you've killed all that stuff, jump up here and then carry on into the next section. And back into the monotonous corridors. I just don't understand how people can not think that this is going to get boring. I mean, I could understand it back in the 80s when you had shit like Gauntlet, or whenever that came out, when it was just room after room after room and it never ended, because you and a bunch of mates after a couple of pints will play Gauntlet all night and it's genius. That shit doesn't roll anymore. You can't do that. You've got to diversify your level. You've got to have some variety or it's just going to suck. And right there, if you jump onto that lever and you pull the ledge down super quick, none of the snipers can get an aim off on you quick enough to do any damage. And if you rush this section, you can get down here and you can force a checkpoint. But we're coming to the end of this video, guys, so thanks for watching once again. I hope it's helping. And you take care now.